All right, everybody. Welcome to the AMA. I think we are starting with no technical issues today. If you can hear me, just give a shout out in the chat if you're around today. Let me just check and see how many viewers we got right now here on X. It looks like we have, how many does it say? 57 viewers right now on X, or 60 it looks like. If anyone's in the chat, drop a hello, repost for any of those notifications if you got them for when we went live. Um, Welcome to the AMA, everybody. Today, I'm going to kind of go over a few things or a few updates. As promised, I'm going to look at just a few updates on the project, the CMC listing progress, as well as like some new community features we're going to be implementing here pretty soon. Some are kind of out now, but I'll kind of preview those with you today. And then we have a contest winner. I believe we have a contest winner. I'm going to kind of look through those with you, and maybe we can kind of debate that. But we'll see. Followed you from Twitter, lovely. Donnie Boo, he's on Kick, it looks like. Cool. If you're on any other platform, welcome. Give us a follow on those other platforms like Kick, YouTube, Twitch, any of those. Because we are trying to grow our presence on there as well. I believe we have like 166 followers now on YouTube. Let me check that. You can pull that up. 166 as of whenever I checked this yesterday. I believe we had that many. It's 168. Looks like we got a couple new followers here. So I'm trying to grow those other platforms. If you're joining us from another platform, please give us a follow. Rumble. It's kind of hard to, I think, be found on Rumble. I'm still not familiar with how that platform works, so I'm gonna have to get a little better with that. But welcome everyone. I'm also doing, if you've kind of been following, I'm trying to do like 3 streams a week. Like news, kind of scam updates, market update streams. So you can kind of see, like, I'll switch over to the main screen real quick. You can kind of see, like, I'm filling out our page here, and I might like do some videos too here, just because if you don't have videos, it just kind of shows this as blank, except for when you're live. So I may clip content from some of the streams and then use them as videos at some point. I'm kind of still getting familiar with video animation or video, clipping and stuff like that. So I need a little more experience with that still, but I do plan to do that to like add content to the YouTube as well. And again, if you haven't followed on any of those platforms yet, please do so. We are trying to do regular videos, and the program is called the Daily Rug. And then again, we host these AMAs weekly. Great, and I'm trying to like get the graphics to be a little more professional too for each broadcast. Just to not have them look so amateur hour like some of these first ones here. I really didn't understand like how OBS worked or prepping some of these graphics here. I'm using an app called Canva. Get no referral fee from them or anything, but they help with kind of organizing these graphics a little bit. Their app's pretty good. It's a web app. Okay, let's get into it today for our AMA. I welcome everybody here. If you're on X or if you're tuning in, I've tried to like kind of schedule these an hour earlier in the day because I feel like if it's like 5 o'clock my time, if people are listening in my time zone, they're maybe commuting or something, and they're not really able to like participate too much. So I've kind of pushed it an hour ahead, and that may change in the next week or two. The time on the AMA, it may actually move to like a morning hour, and I'll explain about that a little bit later. But I may move the time like on this permanently, just because I feel like perhaps in the morning it gets a little better, gets a little better, viewership. Perhaps, maybe not. But I do think like at some point my time zone is going to eventually change, so I'll need to like make some adjustments with some of the scheduling. Perhaps not with the Daily Rug, though. I might move that like an hour earlier. That would be like the only change to that. So okay, let's get into the broadcast here today. So here is the AMA update for you. I'm gonna go over to X real quick. Kind of like been getting some. I want to thank like the Spanish community here, because they've just given me like one of the best posts I've had, and really wasn't much. It was just pulling up a bubble maps, but they must really like dislike this Dallas Review character, because this has been getting a ton of interactions here, a lot of comments People are saying Dallas has blocked them, and he's blocked me as well too, I think, at one point. But now his accounts are protected, so it doesn't show that anymore. Um, okay, let's look at some updates for the project here today. So the first thing I want to get into is the website. I have updated the website, but I'm not quite satisfied with it yet. So I'm gonna do like one more update still here today. Probably I'll apply the update. But what I've done with our website here is I've added the form, right? So you could now submit this form if you'd like, and it's kind of a little jonky now. So I'm gonna try to get it to fit a little bit better, and then I'm gonna change the color of this button to match the other buttons on our website. And I've added a section, a pillars section, our 3 pillars, right? And so the pillars for our project are community first, right? This is a built by and for the community, a transparent creator-led project with no insiders or VCs. Your voice shapes our direction, right? And a lot of things I do, including the broadcast, right, for our project, those are things I've done, based on feedback from the community, right? Based on things that I've feedback I've got from the community as I built this project. Scam education, right? Educating people about scams, whether it be in the daily broadcast, a rug pull newsletter we're planning for later, perhaps next month, and then the scam school classes, which I offer too. And then actionable intelligence, right? We want to have, provide some level of evidence for people when we're presenting these scams too as well. So we're not just kind of speaking out of our mouths here and, not really telling people the truth. And again, the links are here. I've updated the referral links as well to include Padre. Now we had just established a relationship with them, so I've included those if anyone would like to have a permanent link for those. And again, we do transparency updates. I think last week I did an update during the AMA, what we earn. Again, it's kind of low right now, guys. It's in the like $200 range, to be honest, with our earnings on this here in the last week. We're not doing amazingly because the market's not really doing amazing with trading right now. So that's kind of the reason for the low earnings. But I'm happy to report those to the community, and tell you what we've earned over time. I think I've put the intelligence stack up higher because that's the focus of the project and what we're building. So I put that a little more focus on there. And then the scam school, and again the roadmap, I've kind of made it the animations just a little bit better here and improved on those. Again, I will update these forms though. I don't like this button color here. I'll kind of improve on that a little bit. So I will just make a few more little updates to the website here, but I am liking some of these new improvements. Got a little more animation to the site here as well. I mentioned the chains we cover here as well. I think I will make this try to fit a little better though for you. I'm not really quite satisfied with that, but yeah. So that's like version 2 of the website. Added a little bit. What I plan to do next is, I believe tomorrow I will be releasing and I'll put the chat back up here if anyone wants to comment on the website or say anything about the new look of it. I will put up tomorrow a link to the Discord, I believe, too. I've kind of been working on building a Discord, as I mentioned, to the community last week. So I'll put up a link to that if you'd like to join. And I'll add links to our Discord, too, in our links here at the bottom of our website, right? Our community links here. I'll add a link to our Discord servers as well. And I'll post a notice on X and Telegram as well. Okay, so that's our website. That's kind of like some community development we're doing right now. We are looking to continually kind of like improve on what we're doing. I'm still kind of finalizing the moderator role. If anyone is still interested in that, wants to DM me. I've kind of been getting like a lot of people who have like some experience, but it's like, with projects that haven't done that well, or like stuff I've never heard of really before. So I'm kind of like still looking for the right person on that. And this role kind of will be vital for our project, as it will be the person who kind of, pushes the community to participate more. And we do need this community participation to push our project, right? We are a small project, like, as you know, guys, and I'll pull up the CRM chart, see how we're doing today. But as you know, we're a small project. We're hovering right around $200,000 in market cap right now, it's not like a small amount of market cap, but it's also not a large amount of market cap either, right? So we don't want to really lose this market cap at least, and I would like to push us higher, than we're at right now. So in order to do that, we are going to do some marketing for the project. I do plan to, do some test runs with marketing, maybe paying a few KOLs in Solana just to kind of get a little bit of promotion going for the project. This is kind of while we are in limbo with our listing on CoinMarketCap, and I don't have really good news to report to the community on that. Unfortunately, the person we are working with, or we were working with on that, is kind of like they haven't really replied, and they promised me that they were going to give me an update on Monday, and now we are Tuesday, at 4:30 in the afternoon, and I'm still not seeing an update. I'm seeing that they haven't read my message for today either, so I'm not really holding much faith in that person to achieve this for us at this point, unfortunately. They did do some work for us, getting our SoulScan logo, or getting our logo listed on SoulScan, getting a rug check removed from CoinGecko, which was nice of them. But in terms of getting this listing wrapped up for us, they just haven't really come through yet. And I don't know if they haven't replied because they're embarrassed, or that at this point, like, I'm kind of just over the excuses. This person was recommended to the community by one of the whales in our community. And I do feel like that whale still has like a personal connection with this person. So, it may come through in the end, but like, I'm not holding my breath on that. So we're kind of just going to move on and pivot maybe towards doing some marketing here for the project. I feel like this will, maybe generate, if we do need to pay, for example, an express listing fee with CoinMarketCap and pay $5,000, maybe we'll generate the volume through marketing, and then we'll be able to pay this fee, right? So we kind of have to be a little bit careful with our spending, right? We're not generating a ton of income because there's not a ton of volume. I mean, if you see the volume today, we're at 2.7 K in volume, which isn't going to give us much in terms of like fees right now. So we want to be a little bit careful, like just shelling out money to influencers at this point. But I do plan to do like a couple test runs and maybe see if we can get some return on our investment from those people. And then if we do, then maybe continue investing in some marketing for the project. Another thing we've kind of talked about is like pulling some money together as whales and then getting this listing fee taken care of. I'll kind of, maybe debate that or discuss that more with some whales here in the weekend and see if anyone's interested to do that with the project. I know, there are people with significant investments here that want to see this do well, right? Including myself, right? With the fees I've earned, I've been reinvesting. You guys saw the other day, I purchased 1.25 Solana in the project, and that's like fees, the fees we'd earned for like the last week and a half or something for the DAO. So it's not like insignificant money for the project to do this, guys. So it's not something I can do every day either, really. So just be mindful of that too, that I am reinvesting back into the project. I'm not like abandoning it. I'm trying to get more supply for the DAO so that we can do exchange listings, for example, next year, things like that. So ultimately, I want to have more supply. I'm not going to like sell this. This will be used on behalf of the project. If we do have to sell some at some point, it'll be to fund like exchange listings and things like that, right? When the market cap is much higher than it is today. So again, I am trying to accumulate in behalf of the project still. I hope the community, still believes in the project, and this community is slowly accumulating too, as you are able to afford to do so. And again, I'm not going to abandon this project or anything like that. I'm doubling down on my efforts and going to continue to try to get the project listed eventually on CoinMarketCap. Whether it be through the person that we're working with now, if they eventually get back to me. They're listening to this. I hope they do get back to me because just do business the right way, right? That's kind of how I see things in life. Is if you've agreed to do something, either do it, or if you can't, tell the person why you can't, right? Give an explanation on what's happened. So I have better explanation to give you all too, right? It's kind of leaves me and making me look like a jackass as well too by not clarifying for me, right? So. Anyway, not happy right now with that person. I hope they do get in touch, at the very least, to explain why they haven't been able to do what they said they would be able to do for us. Okay, moving on from that. But again, it's not something I'm going to give up on. I hope you don't give up on the project because of that. We're still going to move forward with it, right? Whether it be through marketing the project to get these fees for CoinMarketCap, or whether it be through whales pulling their money together, right? We'll eventually achieve this for you all. And I encourage you not to worry that it won't be done. It's not something I'm going to give up on. Just because the way we were doing it did not work out, right? I'll try another way if we have to. Okay, so that's kind of my rant, my update on CoinMarketCap, right? I'm not exactly happy with how things are going right now with it, but it is what it is, and I don't intend to stop working on it. Again, I will after this AMA, I will put the fix on our website, do a little bit more work on the website, and then again, I want to have the Discord out for you guys kind of tomorrow. Hopefully early tomorrow, around afternoon tomorrow, and maybe have a few people join. I might have a few whales join tonight to kind of maybe put a few bots in there and to tamper down the scams and stuff if too many people join right away. So I kind of want to do a little testing on it first before we necessarily go live with the Discord. And the Discord server will not be the same as our Telegram. I kind of envision it like more. It will have more features, right, than what we kind of offer on the Telegram. I'll kind of have different chat rooms, for example, where people can chat. There'll be like a general chat, rug pull warnings, places to ask questions about KOLs or scam influencers, a place for crypto news, things like that, right? So I'll have it kind of a little more organized. And I've tried to do this before on a Telegram channel, but it just really never played out. Like I wasn't able to manage it well enough. So I do think on Discord it might be a little more organized and manageable for us. So again, that'll be something coming this week for the project, and I do hope to receive a reply from the person working on CMC with us here, if possible, in the next day or so. Okay. Any other updates for the project? I don't really have a ton for you. I didn't really plan an extra topic for today. Another update for me personally is that I'll be doing a bit of traveling this week towards the end of the week. So you won't see as much posting from me. I won't be doing like a daily rug episode on Friday, for example, this week. So I'm going to be visiting my girlfriend overseas for the holidays. So that's kind of what's going on with me this week. Like I'm preparing to go overseas and finish some updates on the project as well. And then once I get there, it'll be back to a normal working schedule for the project, right? I intend to do 3 times a week daily rug episodes, and then the AMA, of course, each week. And then eventually kind of move into a 5-time-a-week schedule. But there might be a little bit of schedule adjustment for me. I will be having some I don't know, what do you, jet lag, right? Maybe some jet lag or something when I get overseas. So I'll be keeping maybe some different hours a little bit with the project, and that could either benefit. Honestly, could benefit or be detrimental to the project. I'll make sure that the algorithm on X, when I'm getting posts likes and stuff, I'll be try to be posting in a time frame where it's similar to like when people are active in the US, because I believe that's where most of our audience is based out of. So I'm not gonna and same with like these AMAs and the morning show. I'm going to try to keep them when people from the US would tend to be listening or active, right? So there's no point in me streaming at 3 a.m. US time, right, when there's nobody on in the US, and that's when the majority of our audience comes from. So those are some things I'm thinking about. I have a pretty good laptop setup. My laptop's good. I have a good mic too that I'll be bringing with me and stuff. So my setup will be just as good. I've applied all my OBS studio settings and stuff today. I was playing around with some of that and getting some images and stuff installed on my laptop from my main computer. So I have everything for the project with me. And again, some of these wallets and stuff that I'm managing for the project as well. I want to make sure that those are accessible, right? So I can add funds and stuff while I'm there and have control over them for the project as well. Okay, let's take a few questions here. I won't keep you too long today because I don't have a ton for you today, but I did want to highlight that we have been updated the website a little bit for you, and then we're going to be launching this Discord, and I'm still working on the elusive CMC listing as well for you. I would like, if anyone has any questions, for them to sign off in the chat. Put in the chat what your question is. Happy to answer for you any questions you might have for the community, for myself, about the project, anything you'd like to discuss right now. Or if you'd just like to chat at the moment. I don't really see like a lot of chatters in this broadcast. Okay, hey there, Talib, Talabi. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Hello, sir. Good day to you. Guys, if you're new to the project too, here are the CAs. You can find them on my X account at cryptorugmunch. The CA for the Solana token and the CA for our token on Zora as well. All right, let's check in on our Zora token, because this broadcast is for our token on Zora as well. Let's just see how that is doing. Again, if you're interested in our token on Zora, it's zora.co/@cryptorugmunch to check out. You aren't live on X. What the hell? Why aren't I live on X? Why aren't I? It says I'm streaming on X. It says I'm streaming on X. How do I apply for the mod? Yes, I'm live on X. Are you lying to me? Who's lying to me? Who's saying I wasn't live on X right now? There I am. 25 minutes ago I was live. Don't freak me out. Don't make me freak out and think I'm not streaming on X. Okay. Yeah. It's Toby for real speaking. Oh, hey man. They're lying. Yes, they're lying to me. Toby for real. Welcome, dude. Toby for real is very active in our moderator role. I think Toby wants to become a moderator, perhaps, maybe, right? Toby, is that right? Toby, do you want to become the mod for our chat? He's been very participative in the last week or so in the chat. I've noticed that. How do I apply? Just send me send me some background on yourself. I'm more likely to look at just an honest documentation of what you've been up to in this space than like a CV, because a lot of these CVs I'm seeing are for projects that have failed and stuff. So I want you guys to just tell me what you're gonna do for the project, how you're gonna get the chat more active. And we do need that, guys. If you're in this project, right, just share some stuff once in a while. Give a little bit of a retweet, and we'll do some more raids and stuff. We do need this to be guerrilla marketing led somehow though too, guys. Where we get community participation, right? As I said, it's a community led project, right? So it can't just be me doing all the heavy lifting. We need the community also to participate too. So if you're listening to this, just work for your bags a little bit too, right? I'll do all I can to keep the project moving along, but also work for your bags as well, and promote content. We'll try to put up more memes and stuff as well for people to share, and do a little more rating here in the next week or so. Just to get some more focus on it. I am kind of hoping the market returns too. We just had just brutal couple days in the market here this week. Let's see. I'll pull up CoinGecko real quick and I know it's not that show, but let's just see where Bitcoin's at. Bitcoin, down 2.6% today, and Ethereum's down, Solana's down 6%. It's not a great day or time really for some of these tokens. Zcash is finally getting its ass kicked back to reality here. Again, it's not really the show. I'll do an market update tomorrow if you want to tune in for that show. But it's hard with the market getting its ass kicked, right? And then you have these low liquidity coin like this. It's hard to just a little bit of panic, and someone sells $1,000. It's not good for the project at this point. So if you can. I encourage you to buy the dip on it. We're at 206 right now. Oh, if we could push it to the mid 250 or so to get a little bit of leeway here in price action if anyone tries to sell or anything like that, that would be great. And again, the volume hasn't been high. We did have some significant dip the other day. I think it went to like 1.7 when a whale sold, and that got eaten really quickly. Like that was the day I did some DCAing for the project, and I wasn't even able to buy under 200,000. Right, it was like I was late for buying on that dip actually. So when it does seem like, some days it's just like there's not much happening, but when like a whale dumps or something, people eat that really quick and try to keep the price. It seems like above the 200,000 mark, which I'm very happy for the community doing. And someone asked me in the whale chat, what's the reason to purchase this project right now, considering we haven't been listed on CMC. And my kind of retort to them was, I have kept every other promise I've said for the project. Right? I've got the website developed. I'm working on continuously improving that, adding more social features to the project. So I'm not like, it's not like I'm just sitting on my ass. If you look at charts for some of these creator projects, I mean, we can look at the biggest ones, guys, the biggest ones. We could look at Mitch. I draw a line. Mitch is not far away from where our project is, guys, and he's doing nothing to develop his project, right? He's doing nothing on the development of his project. Should just be at zero, right? So, I mean, it's like you have to consider like what we're putting into our project versus what other creators are putting into theirs. I forgot what the name of Gainsey. I think it was like Gainsey Stream or something like that. Yeah. Gainsey Stream. I mean, and Gainsey's a way bigger account than me, guys, and he's streaming on Pump Fun. If you want to compare, has Gainsey built a website? I doubt Gainsey's built a website, right? He links you right to his Pump Fun. So, I mean, I still feel like, the amount of work some of these like streamers are putting into their project versus what, the amount of work that I'm putting into my project personally. There's a mismatch of price there, right? If you compare how hard I'm working versus how hard some of these other developers are working, and like that's like, not to toot my own horn or anything. It's just the honest truth, right? You can look at these other projects which are creator coins. What was Alex Becker's creator coin? Does anyone remember? 250K market cap is the goal, and then possibly consolidate around that for a long time before I push higher. Gainsey hold the line on ZAC at 6,800. Yeah, I mean, and Gainsey's selling you guys, selling his community pumped bullshit too, right? And I'm the person telling you guys to stay away from that stuff, right? Like, where's the reward for that, right? Like I was on here on Friday telling you to stay the hell away. I wasn't saying stay away. I said that these are probably topped out, right? Some of these are topped out. And that proved to be true, right? They were topped out. I'm working harder than Gainsey, 100%. Yes, and I have no sponsorships, right? I'm not advertising for a casino or anything like this, right? So you gotta consider like what people put into a creator token, overall. If you look at that whole sector of the crypto economy, right, and it is a sector of the crypto economy, you can just see that, our token, it's not performing great right now, but I'm also doing more for the token than a lot of these creators ever going to do for their tokens, right? So just, please be a bit patient with me while I do this. Just realize that I am working on behalf of the community, right? Whereas some of these creators are working to fill their own bags with sponsorships, et cetera, et cetera. I'm happy to take sponsorships for my streams, but I would reinvest that back into the project, right? And I don't necessarily think that Gainsey's like reinvesting his ZEC sponsorship or his casino sponsorships back into his own project at all. Big difference. He is definitely working hard. I'm working. Okay. Thank you for saying I'm working hard. But again, guys, and you can see, okay, these tokens are a little more, have a little more value than us because they're from bigger people, bigger influencers in the space. But, in terms of working hard for the community, the price, I believe, is mismatched. What was Alex Becker's token? Does anyone remember what it was? It was like streamer season or something like that. Anyway, I can't remember what it was, but I'm sure it's in the dumps, right? Where it belongs, right? But I feel like our token doesn't really belong in the dumps, considering what we're working on here in terms of like as being a creator token, right? It's the price is misaligned here, compared to some of these other creators that aren't really creating anything for their community. Okay, that's my rant on that. Sometimes people kind of give me some shit in the chat. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, well, man, I'm trying as hard as I can to. The reason I went with this person was to save money for the project ultimately, so we could spend this on marketing, right? And that's the reason I went with someone that wasn't official with CMC, right? And the person had the vouching of someone in the whale chat too, who's still in the whale chat, right? So like it's like not like I distrust this person and they haven't really abandoned the project or anything. So it's not like they like got me to use this person and then ditched us. They're still there, right? They're still trying to get in touch with that person too for us. So again, probably not the best call, but like I'd rather lose like $1,000 or so, right, than lose 5,000, giving to Binance right away, right? So I want to try a variety of things, to for our project. If they can save us some money, right, and they work out, right, they work out, right. Still, this is early days for the project too. You have to remember that, guys. We haven't started developing the app yet and stuff. So just try to be patient. I understand the price is a big consideration for people. And that's, you don't want to sell when you're at a loss, right? So I'm not encouraging you to like dump at a loss, right? Guys, give me time to develop it so you don't have to sell at a loss, right? You don't have to lose money on this project. I do see people get frustrated and sell a loss. Like that's just your choice, but someone's going to eat that dip, and we will continue developing the project, and then you'll be eventually sorry for dumping when you could have just held and got your money back and are way more. Okay, that's my rant on that. Let's see if the chat's got anything to say. Crypto folks are really, yeah. I mean, if this was like a business and you're thinking of a business like a business investment, and again, I've told you before, like our strategy with cryptorugmunch on Zora is we're giving this over 5 years, right? And I plan to do an airdrop with it or several of them. But you have to think like long term. If this money is coming to the project over 5 years, it's a slower drip. For the development timeline with the Zora token, right? So it's a long term project for me. Like this is my career in crypto, that I'm trying to develop here. So this token, the cryptorugmunch token on Zora and CRM as well, will be both heavily tied to the rest of my career in crypto, right? So I won't be going anywhere. I hope that people, yeah, right. And I've founded a business around the project, right, as well. Right, to keep myself and the project development work continuing. So I mean, kind of see it like that, right, where you're putting a little bit of money in at this time, and then you're hoping for a larger return in the future, right, and not get too impatient and then just dump because Solana dumps someday or something, right? It's a dumb reason to dump because it's not like I'm going anywhere. I'm posting every day for the community, right? You guys see if you're following along with me, you see my posts every day. Stuff like that. So I don't really feel like, like the concerns that warranted where it's like, oh no, we're not doing this yet. It's like, well, dude, it's a business that I'm developing here, and it's my long-term business, right? My career in the crypto space, right, hinges on these tokens working out. So it's not like I'm going to give up on them. Just be a little bit, you have to be a little bit like reasonable in your expectations with a single person doing the development work, right? It's not like I have a team behind me. And again, someone's like, are you going to develop the app? It's like, no, man, I'm not. I'm going to hire someone to develop the app, right? That's the like I'm a teacher by trade, guys. Like I have a 20-year career in a background in teaching. Before I got in the crypto space, I lived in South Korea for a good decade, over a decade of my life, and I'm a white American guy, right? So I've lived a lot of my life overseas working as an educator, right? So I still intend in my role in crypto to be an educator, right? Primarily to provide education to people about how to avoid these scams. And the development work will be hired. Fuck you, Streamboo, spamming my shit all the time. I'm gonna get more active on Twitch so I can delete your comments. But F you, Streamboo. Okay. Anyway, that's my rant. I'm not gonna like abandon this project or anything, but just be patient with me while the work's done. And I'm gonna try to keep the commitments I've set to you guys, in the past, right, and continue to do these things that I promised, right. Whether it be with the CMC listing or the apps or any of these things, right. I want to do them for you all, right. And part of this is to prove that creators are not just lazy people, right, who are not going to make anything for their community, and that there's no reason for creator coins. I actually believe that there is a strong reason for creator coins because it incentivizes creators to work hard on behalf of the community, right? And that's like my whole belief behind these tokens. So whether it be working on the website or providing anti-scam content for the community, right? That's part of what the creator coin's all about, right? So let's just try to stay positive, guys. I'm still remaining positive about both these tokens. Sometimes I get in the whale chat, and like even in the whale chat, some people are down in the dumps. It's like you just have to consider, that there is a single entity behind this project who has their own life outside of crypto, own career outside of crypto as well, guys. I'm not just a crypto person, right? I'm also a teacher, as I've said. And I do, I've mentioned I sell these classes. My primary goal primary work outside of crypto is coaching executives in English, right? And in like Western formalities and stuff in business meetings. So that's kind of like where I'm at outside of crypto too. You have to realize I have like other stuff going on outside of my job in crypto too. Not just crypto. So I have to consider that. Please bear with me while I get the project developed out for us. If you look at the website, right, we are making steady improvements on the website. I also intend to have a community scam board here released probably in the next few weeks, next week or two maybe. I want to try to get that released for you guys too. So I am making gradual improvements to the project overall. And again, if you'll just compare the amount of work that I'm putting into this versus any other influencer in the space who has a creator coin, you'll see it's a lot more than what these people are doing. And that's the comparison I would like you guys to make as a community between what I'm doing and what these other creators are doing, right, for their communities. And just think about that. If you're ever getting impatient, it's like, well, let's look at what Travis has done, for our project versus what Gamesy's done for his project, where he spams them with casino ads and ZEC at the peak, valuation and stuff like this, guys. There's value still in our project, I believe, and I hope I've sold that well to you today too. Like if you've maybe given you a different way to like think about the project or a different perspective, because I know some people were kind of down in the dumps that the CMC listing didn't happen as expected, and me too, right? Me too. As a developer, right? I hate to come on the air and have to give you guys this news, but I want to be honest with you guys too, where we're at. So that's my kind of rant for the project here. Let's see if anyone has any comments. Check. Someone wants me to check a token in the AMA here. I tell you what, I'll check Pokaho. I'll check Pokaho if you tune in tomorrow. How about if you tune into the live broadcast tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Time? I will be back to provide some analysis on Pokaho and many other projects in the space. If anyone wants to join us tomorrow, again, that's 11 a.m. I hope you guys enjoyed this AMA. I'm going to probably wrap it up here if no one has any questions or more comments. I appreciate you chatting. Guys, if you want to tune into our broadcast tomorrow, I will kind of go into news. I go into scam updates. We kind of do a rundown of all the projects happening on Deck Screener, all the projects that are like kind of popping off. And then I also take comments in the chat and go over projects totally for free, right? I'll do some analysis on projects for people who are looking for some scam analysis too on some of these projects. Now, right now I'm kind of doing that for free, but I envision a day like where I could like collect YouTube donations or something. And again, I'll put this back in the project as well too. But for now, I'm doing this for free just to kind of get these streams some traction to them, right? And get people acquainted with our style of streaming. And I am getting more comfortable with streaming. You can kind of heal probably with my Bell's palsy. My voice is starting to heal, so I'm like feeling better overall with my health and stuff too. I feel like I'll be able to be probably a little more active than I've been here in the last few weeks. Not to say that I haven't like really that I've slowed down a lot, because I did get a lot of this website done when I was like had the worst part of this condition. So I'm getting better like health wise too in terms of that. So I'm good. Thank you for your hard work. I no problem at all. And again, this work is like for my own career too, right? That's why I'm doing it, because I want to advance my career in the crypto space. I want to next year get some more education so I can trace some of these scams a little better too, right? I want to do some personal development in crypto as well in the next year. for myself too, so I can be a better community member than I am these days, right? Too. So there's always more you can do for your own development, right, guys? You're never going to be like even Zach XBT. You know, he might like come on. He is in terms of like social influence, like the top dog in the scam space. But I would bet there's some guy working in a private company who maybe could give him a run for his money, right? He's just not posting on X, per se. But so anything that you're doing in life, you might be number one, but there's always someone looking to unseat you, and you're always able to improve on what you do, right? You can't, like, you shouldn't just be satisfied. Oh, I've achieved this level in life. I should just stop here, right? And it's enough for me, right? That's not like really how I try to be as a person. So I'll try to push the project, try to push my account, push myself to be better in the space here in the coming year. I hope that no one gives up on our project and sees the vision of kind of what I'm doing here for you guys too. So again, that's about it. I think I'll wrap it up there. I thank you all for tuning in. Let's kind of check our numbers here before we wrap up and see what we got. Looks like we have 207 people. I'll click on the chat and show you that real quick. 207 people here, according to X. Their numbers are sometimes a little hyped up here, I believe. But let's see, bring back the chat. YouTube chat display on the screen takes time. Yeah, and there's I believe with this broadcast, there's like a 10-second delay on the broadcast on all platforms, I think. So it's not going to like display immediately if you say something to me. But I will see it, right? It will pop up. It will pop up for us. So I appreciate everyone tuning in. That's a big number of people for our AMA, right? I encourage you all, if you're listening live, to get CRM, support a creator project that is actually building on the behalf of the community. 50% of all fees in our project go towards building security tools, which will help the community detect rugs better in the future, right? That is on both tokens, CRM on Solana and cryptorugmunch on Zora. You can support both tokens. I'll develop both tokens equally, right? I have no preference in which token you buy. I like them both, love them both. So again, our broadcast tomorrow will also be sponsored by CRM, cryptorugmunch as well, right? All of our broadcasts will continually be sponsored by the project, right? I want to give as much attention to the project as I can, right? We have up in the screen here, get CRM, cryptorugmunch, right? And again, if you'd like, check out our new website, cryptorugmunch.com, and I will be making another update to that here later this evening, and again, probably providing you with a link to the Discord tomorrow. Thank you all for tuning in today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you're listening from. Thank you that the dev's getting stronger. Yes, you can probably hear in my voice I have a little more energy too, or my voice sounds a little more natural, like half my mouth isn't like welded shut or something. All right, everyone, have a wonderful day. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.